Welcome back to Combat Sports Weekly. Joining us now is a mixed martial artist out of Spring Hill, Florida originally, but he's based out of Albuquerque, New Mexico most of the time. Nick Urso, welcome, man.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to finally have you on.
It's a pleasure to be here.
You're kind of a traveling man, so tell us about the training that you do and where you train.
Catch me if you can.
Yeah.
I've been in Chicago for about a year now. I got a lot of family up there, and Izzy Styles up there, Valley Flow, and they're an affiliate of Jackson's. They've been out here for a long time, and I needed to work on my wrestling, and it was just the right decision to make, and it worked out real well.
Yeah, tell us what you're doing right now here in Albuquerque. And in the meantime, since primary, you said you're training in Chicago. But what are you doing in Albuquerque for?
Specifically, I'm here for John Dodson, but I will be in Albuquerque either full time or for the rest of my career, back and forth. But specifically, I'm here for John Dodson and the title. What
do you think of that fight that he's preparing for September 5th against Demetrious Johnson? Big championship fight rematch for him.
Yeah, I think you're going to have a hometown champ here soon. A couple of them, actually.
Yeah, because you also mentioned you got Carlos Conde has an upcoming title fight. Yeah. So how do you measure both of them? I mean, it's just seeing both guys in the gym, the type of work ethic. How addicting is that to see and for you to kind of, I guess, mirror?
We're dealing with savages. I mean, and professional savages. These guys, they don't cut no corners. They put in the time and the effort, and they're both going to have the belts, and I firmly believe that. Yeah.
Talk about that flyweight division in the UFC. Obviously, John Dodson, as we mentioned, is a flyweight also, and you had a guy's a former. I guess opponent of yours, Ray Borg, also up there. Talk about how loaded that is.
Yeah, it's a really loaded division. Unfortunately, I feel like it should be getting a little bit more love. I think it's going to turn around here soon, just like it did with boxing. Yeah. Everyone was about the heavyweights, and now all you hear about is Pacquiao and Mayweather, and these aren't big guys. But I think the flyweight division has some room to grow. I think they need to get a little bit more depth in there, a little bit new names, and I'm excited to see John win the title and see what happens after that.
You sport a really good record of 8-2. You're out of one of the best camps, if not the best camp in the world. What do you feel your chances are of getting into the UFC potentially?
Man, I'm hoping they're 100%. I'm more than ready. I'm confident. I've been doing the things I need to do to compete at the highest level. I'm just waiting for the phone call. So Sean Shelby, if you're out there, please call me. I got my phone off silent just for you. Yeah, I'm ready to get in there and mix it up with these guys.
Talk about your upbringing in MMA. One, how did you get involved? I mean, what other sports were you into as a kid, or was it all specifically just the arts?
Yeah, I'm a lifelong martial artist, and it's in the blood. My dad is a lifelong martial artist. I just found video, actually. I was visiting my dad in Florida, and he was showing me some footage of him throwing spinning back fist. And it was 1988,
wow.
And he was shredded, and it's just all I've ever known is, training and working on your footwork and shadow boxing, and we didn't do much. I mean, we played a little bit of basketball being in Chicago, but it was a fight family for sure, and that's why I'm here now.
Yeah, Spring Hill. How does a guy from, I guess, Spring Hill, born in Chicago, end up in Albuquerque, New Mexico? How was that voyage here to Jackson's MMA in Albuquerque?
Well, Spring Hill in itself is like a cage fight. A lot of people don't know about a little town, but it's a real scrappy, rough, a lot like Albuquerque, really. I think that's why I like Albuquerque a lot. But I was just looking to go to the best places I possibly could, and Jackson's was on the first of my list. And I sent over an email. Next thing I knew, I was on a flight to Albuquerque, and the first person I walked through the door and met was John Dodson, and that was the first person I trained with. And we hit it off, and the rest is really history. That list got thrown away real quick.
How did that change your outlook on the sport coming to a championship caliber camp?
Right. I didn't really even. I was just like, I didn't stop and smell the roses per se. I was just kind of enjoying the journey, and it was just awesome being around a bunch of people that were super motivated and hungry to train, as opposed to go out and party and do this and that. And I just fell in love instantly. I got a lot of guys with the same mindset as mine, and super motivated, and reality check as well too. I was kind of very green. I didn't have any fights at the time, not even any amateur kickboxing or nothing, and I told John I wanted to fight at 135 or 145, and he looked at me like I had 12 heads. He's like, "No, dude, you're a 125 pounder," and I'm like, man, that's like 10 pounds lighter than I am. And he looked at me like I was crazy. He's like, well, that's normal. That's what you're supposed to do. So yeah, little John's had a huge impact on my career, and it's a blessing that I ended up here.
The old Jackson's MMA gym, because they recently moved closer to downtown, was located on Acoma and San Mateo. Tell me what you remember about that Walmart on San Mateo and Central.
Man, they have the people of Walmart, the website, right? There could be one for just that Walmart, and it would end forever. I mean, it's in another world,
Yeah. Now, another time I remember, kind of seeing you through your camp. We were up in the Sandia Mountains. Is that one of your favorite spots? I think you said that's your favorite spot here in the town.
Brandon Gibson takes a lot of the guys up there, and I think he was the first person to take me up there to train. And me and Hunter would go up there. Hunter Tucker would go up there a lot, and you're just like one with nature. You know, you don't hear any cars or yelling or horns or sirens. Just fresh air and the wildlife. You know.
Yeah. We mentioned one of your opponents in the past was Ray Borg. That was a huge fight that took place here in Albuquerque at Legacy, I believe. If it wasn't the co-main event, it was a fight right before, but you guys were on the undercard. Talk about what that fight taught you and seeing him ultimately progress.
Right, yeah, you know, going into that fight, I knew Ray Borg was, you know, as successful as he is now. I knew that he was that talented back then, and you know, he was a better man that day. It was a great show, you know. It was a decent fight. I wouldn't say it was a great fight because I didn't come out on top, and you know, I didn't do the things I would have liked to have done. But yeah, you know, I think you learn more in life, not in just fighting, but with your losses. You know, when things go smoothly, you don't really get to figure out what life's really all about. And you know, you hit a bump in the road with life or with, you know, your job or, you know, fighting. You figure things out, you reevaluate, and it makes you hungrier and more motivated than you ever thought you could be, you know. Seeing
these other flyweights besides Borg, besides Dodson, of course, guys like Joby Sanchez is another teammate of yours in the UFC. Do you see these guys in action, and especially since it's a newer division, and see, you know what, I could be up there someday? Yeah, you know, I don't even think it's a question. I think everybody, including myself, knows that's where I belong. I've been training with a lot of these guys for a long time, and I know what I'm capable of, and a lot of these guys know what I'm capable of. It's just, you know, I unfortunately I missed that opportunity against Borg, and you know, and he took advantage of it, and he's doing very well. You know, I'll get my opportunity again, and I'll prove where I'm supposed to be, and you know, 100% I'll capitalize. Nick, we'd like to thank you for coming on, but before we let you go, where can people catch you on your social media? Yeah, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, @Nick Urso MMA, #Team Urso. Give me a follow. Let me keep up with these guys at Jackson's. They're killing me with their followers. Yeah, make sure, he's a pretty good follow on Instagram and also on Twitter, so make sure you guys check him out. Nick Urso, make sure you guys check him out. We'll catch you guys. He's joining us on the round table, so hang out. See you guys soon.